Hey, welcome to Iron Refocus Radio, man. We are here again, once again, and you know what time it is. It's Tuesday night. That means I'm here in the studio right here in San Antonio, Texas, and I have my guest for tonight, Pastor Kevin Green. Man, what's up, man?
Man, how you doing, my brother? Everything is well.
Everything is going to be awesome because we're going to talk about a topic easy: have more faith. And I just want to say one thing before we get into the topic tonight. If you're listening to this right now, I just want to say big thank you. Appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to listen to this episode. But this one right here tonight is going to be packed with fire because it's not just something that we all can practice, but it's something that we all need to be reminded to have. So have more faith. We're going to go into Hebrews 11, 1 through 3. I'll read it real quick. Faith shows the reality of what we hope for. It is the evidence of things we cannot see. Through their faith, the people in days of old earned a good reputation. By faith, we understand that the entire, let me slow down. By faith, we understand that the entire universe, not part of the universe, the whole universe, the entire universe was formed at God's command. That what we now see did not come from anything that can be seen. Man, we just debunked a lot of stuff in the, let me stop playing.
Oh, man.
But if we kind of dive into just the whole part where it says faith shows the reality of what we hope for.
Yeah.
So have more faith. What does that mean to you, Pastor Green, when you hear the words have more faith and based on what we just read?
Man, when I hear the words have more faith, it just means I just have to press more and believe more. It's kind of like when you go to a cafeteria or to a restaurant and you go to sit down, you don't check every leg on the chair. You sit down. Why? Because you have faith and confidence in that. So either you're going to have confidence in what you say you're going to do or you're not, because you're the only one that can either give life to it or sabotage it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about this before we even started, because if you chose anything, right, like this watch I'm wearing, someone made this watch with different materials.
Right.
But they had to, like, do it. They couldn't just think about it all day, like, man, what materials can I get? How can I get this color? You know, how can I get the thing to move? You know, see, faith is you go. You don't just believe. You believe and then you go. You believe and then you act. And let me go back to the scriptures because that's where we're at. Verse 2, through their faith, the people in the days of the old earn a good reputation. By faith, we understand that the entire universe was formed at God's command. Man, so God, we always say he's the source. That means he's the one that makes it all come together.
Absolutely.
Man, I don't know if you just heard that, but I'm going to say again for those in the back. He helps everything come together. Think about that for a minute. When you're playing a sport, right? I was reading an interesting article last week on finances and stuff. And it's funny because I'm disclaiming no expert in finances, but I was just reading, you know, I'm sure everyone else can relate to that in today's time.
Yes, sir.
And this person writing the article had a very interesting take on baseball, right?
Okay.
And they were saying when the ball is in the air, we naturally will keep our eye on the ball.
Right.
And the reason why that's important is because we don't really have too much worry about what is around us.
Right.
Because our focus is to catch the ball. And so they was in the article was saying, we will make the necessary adjustments based of our environment to put ourselves in the best position to catch the ball.
Right.
So I'm going to ask the listener, how many times are you taking your eye off the ball?
Wow.
And what I mean by that is a metaphor is, all right, for example, you get up in the morning, you get ready for work. Are you positioning yourself throughout your shift, throughout your time to catch the ball? And what I mean by that is maybe that ball represents you getting the work done.
That's right.
Right? Basic. We're not talking about you getting, oh, you got promoted to $1 million. Like, let's take it slow, because I think faith, too, is not being too extreme.
There you go. There you go.
You position yourself to catch opportunities.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to drive. You're catching the opportunity to progress in life or to just be better. We talked about fitness,
Oh, yeah.
Someone who's trying to exercise, right? You're not even thinking about being a bodybuilder, something extreme like that. You just want to be healthier.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the way we have to be with faith. We don't need to be extreme. Hey, God, tomorrow at 3:00, can you put my savings account to $2 million? This, it's not that bad. It's 3:00 tomorrow. I'm not talking about that kind of faith. Maybe it's totally simple. Hey, how can I be more productive? How can I prioritize?
Right.
Better. Personal and professional world.
You're right.
Because those are moments where you're catching the ball.
Right.
Because the article continues, I didn't know I was going to go on that route, but it's interesting. The article continues to talk about when they catch the ball, they time how they're going to throw it.
Right.
And they analyze what is the best aim in place to throw. Do they need to throw to first base, second base, third base, home plate?
Yeah, you're right.
But I'm getting that is tying this into once you catch the opportunity, then what do you do with the opportunity you have?
Oh, that's good.
Because I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but it's kind of, hopefully catching everyone coming together. Because if you flip it to not just exercising, but someone who's in school.
Right.
Elementary, middle school, high school. The teacher gives you a test throughout semester, right? And by the end of the semester, you have final exam. But based on what all you've done or did not do, determines if you pass to the next level.
That's right.
Maybe God's asking you, when are you going to do the things that will enable you to pass to the next level? And maybe the next level for you is just being more productive,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Because once again, we're not talking about extremes. We're not talking about you becoming the next billionaire in 6 months. Let's have a little, let's pump the brakes a little bit. But you either think you can or you think you can't.
That's right.
And either way, you're absolutely right. Another analogy, I'll wrap this up. Heard someone say, I think this was on the podcast. Someone was talking about when you're driving at night with your headlights on, you're trusting the light to reveal your path.
Right.
But you don't see the destination yet. But you do see a certain amount of feet in front of you. I took that and said, you know what? That's what faith is.
It is.
It's the headlights. You can't see everything in front of you, right? You can't see your destination. It's still ways to go. But it does give you an amount of space to see where to take the next step. And some in the Bible, you can help me out on this, Pastor Green.
Okay.
Some in the Bible talks about the word being a lamp, right?
Yes. I made your word a lamp unto my path.
Because that's what I'm getting at. God's word is like a lamp. It's light that allows us to be able to see the next step. Like, he doesn't show us our destination. He doesn't fast forward the VHS tape and say, hey, this is what it's going to look like. You know, he doesn't do that. We live our life in real time. And if you can just understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
We've been saying this for, feels like over a month now. Live in the moment, in the now. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Bible says in so many places about, you know, don't worry about tomorrow because you don't know what may bring.
That's right.
Right? It has enough problems of its own,
That's
troubles of its own. So going back to Hebrews, by faith we understand the entire universe, not part of the universe. That means where that Pluto planet got X'd out, but, you know, all the other ones are still out there. Yeah, the entire universe was formed at God's command. That what we now see did not come by anything that can be seen. So that means whatever situation you're in, you might see your situation, but that don't mean that's the result. That doesn't mean that's the end. Because God can command things to happen. And maybe part of it is to get you back. I think last week or a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the safety.
Right.
How God's safety for us. The street lights cut on, you got to run back home.
Be home, that's right.
Faith is easy with God. Faith is impossible without God.
My God.
Because there is nowhere else that faith can exist without God. It's almost like someone driving a vehicle. You know, for that vehicle to actually work, all the things that were made in parts, right? They're all connected for it to function. Well, how many times do you read the manual from cover to the end, back of the book? None of us do. We can go get help. And what I'm trying to get at is, that's faith. If something happens, you got to go to the manual. Find out what the issue is, what the symptoms are. And then God can do his thing. And then he can reveal what we need to know to go to the next level, go to the next step. The problem is that we think we got it all figured out. And the more we think we have it all figured out, the more we get stuck.
Yes, sir, we do.
So all I'm going to say is have more faith. Whatever your situation is, whatever it is, you just want to be healthier, be intentional about it. Because the more you complain about it, the worse it gets. It's almost like someone trying to play the piano without any keys. And they just sitting there mad. Who brought this piano in here? Ain't got no keys. And guys like, hey, if you don't get up and look for a different piano, maybe.
Maybe you'll find the key.
You know? It's like driving to work. Where all these cars come from? Guys like, hey, next time get up earlier.
Yeah.
See, the guy is funny. It's common sense. I think he's a comedian. He's like, you tried everything else and it don't work, but if you tried me though.
Hey, try me, yes sir.
When's the last time you asked me for something? I wasn't even gonna go here, but I'm gonna wrap this up for real, for real. When I was reading about Solomon.
Okay.
And this is a cherry on the top. When when he prayed and asked God for wisdom,
Right.
God was impressed because he didn't ask for wealth, riches,
right.
and he did not ask for longevity.
That's right.
So when God answered him, not only did he help him get wisdom, but great wisdom. It's supposed to be like the greatest ever
Yes,
wisdom.
sir.
But he also gave him what he did not ask.
He gave him riches.
And I want to say that to the individual. If you focus on God, he won't just give you what you ask for.
Yes, sir.
He will also give you what you did not even think about asking.
Wow.
See, a lot of times we want to put the microwave on 30 seconds and get the $1 million 30 seconds and be popular 30 seconds and get the promotion 30 seconds.
It don't work like that.
And it's like, it's not being negative about like this whole rich and whatnot if you're a Christian. It's just common sense. If you want to be better, the only way you can get better is connect to God, period. Let's just focus on that part. Because if you have more faith, it grows over time.
Yes, sir.
I talked to a person this week who has a show that I produce. It's my last comment before I leave. I know I've been saying that, but this is so good. We talked about life, right? And she mentioned something about like a flower and use it as an analogy. And after the show, I couldn't wait to tell her. I said, man, when you said that, so good. Because a flower, when it blooms, it takes time. It has to be nourished. It's all this attention and detail. You know, you got to do certain things for it to actually grow.
Yes, sir.
And I threw some in there. I said, you know, that's what life is. It's a process. But it can't not grow if we don't take care of it.
It can't grow.
And I said, also, life can also be a train wreck. Whatever you've been working on can also be destroyed.
Wow.
So it's like, are we going to be a train wreck? Or are we going to be like the flower that blooms?
That's a good analogy.
We're going to take our time in knowing that life is a process and live one day at a time. So that's what I got to say. Have more faith. Whatever your situation is, have more faith. You may not even know the answers, but have more faith. Because without faith, it is impossible to what?
Please God.
It's impossible to please God.
Yes, sir.
So that says to me, not only that I just took too much time tonight, but this I felt it was important to get out. Don't be so extreme with certain things. Because we can be extreme and make things bigger than what it is, whether it's positive or negative. We can be dramatic or whatever.
Yeah.
But simply remember this. God knows everything that you need and what you should have. Don't question it. Just have more faith. And that's how I'm ending the show. Just have more faith. You've been listening to Refocus Radio. Pastor Green, how can they get connected to you and your wife?
They can go to www.recoveringyourharvest outreach.
Once again, listen to Army Focus Radio. We appreciate you listening. Make sure you share this with someone that you feel will be inspired. And if you're inspired, we appreciate if you just contact us. Hit us up, armyfocusradio.com. But like we said, man, have more faith.
Have more faith.
Like we say every now and then, keep God first. Stay focused. And peace.